Kelvin is a leader at the University of Delaware and the state in terms of his research. I think what's striking about Kelvin's research is he's very adept at picking important and significant problems. So from the early days, even when he was a graduate student, picking problems that have a profound impact on human health and disease. And so he's taken some of that early work he did as a graduate student, taking it on in completely different and complementary directions now. And through his work in identifying things called biomarkers, he's having a profound impact on our ability as a research community to identify things like Alzheimer's and other brain diseases before post-mortem. So traditionally, historically, the only way to identify someone who is suffering from Alzheimer's ultimately is through a post-mortem analysis. And he's developing the tools to allow us to approach this problem in real time. And the advantage of that is simply that tool then can be used to assess the quality of drugs that are being developed to combat Alzheimer's and other diseases.
Everyone loves to hear his talks because he's able to take complex topics and really break them down in a way that's accessible to people from many disciplines as well as non-scientists.
I studied chemical engineering, and the one thing that I knew all along throughout that educational process was that the most interesting problems to me were those involving life science and biotechnology. So I always had research interests in biotechnology. And I had the opportunity to go to graduate school, and the person that I worked with was the first chemical engineer to actually clone a gene back in the old days, and so I thought that was an exciting place to be, and I've been on that trajectory ever since. And I've been just very, very lucky to have people and resources that are able to execute on some of the projects that we all find very interesting.
Kelvin is absolutely one of those that you want to hold up as an example. They're good with their research, they're good with their teaching, they're good with community service, but they're just great citizens in general. I don't know of anybody who will not be glad that Kelvin got this award.
He's just a very eloquent spokesman for whatever he's discussing, very articulate, and has a brilliant strategic mind in providing a broad perspective. And so the fact that we were able to recruit him from Cornell was an enormous coup for us. And that's obviously how things have played out in reality with these subsequent roles, especially in leading the Delaware Biotechnology Institute.
I think it's the potential impact of the work that really inspires me personally, and I think it inspires the people who work on our team to try to keep moving forward. You know, science and research, I think, as many of us know, it's not that every day is a big win and everyone's happy every single day. It's a roller coaster. There's hard times. There's times when the experiments don't work, either because you made a mistake or more likely perhaps because of things beyond your control. But it's the opportunity to keep making a difference in somebody's life or in the society collectively as a whole. That's what really inspires people to move forward, and that's what inspires me as well.
Kelvin really emphasizes the importance for graduate students and postdocs to chart their own course in their research. Of course, Kelvin's always there to provide guidance and help and advice through that process, but he really wants to make sure that the advisee is the one in the driver's seat, not Kelvin. And I think that's really made for some very independent researchers coming out of his lab.
The Academic Research Award is really a special honor, and it's on the one hand, it's something that I feel very proud of, but I also would argue that it's much more about the students and the staff and the postdocs over the years that have done all the hard work. The dirty secret in being a professor is that we don't actually work in the lab typically. We spend most of our time doing email and in meetings, and it's really the students who come up with the ideas in my group. It's the students who generate the data, they analyze the data, and they report on the data. And they are the ones who are really being recognized with this award.